Okay, last video. How do we find the constant of proportionality or the rate of change from a graph? So first off, so many names, right? Like we have to know the vocabulary to know if we're talking about the same thing. So the following words or phrases can be used to describe the rate of change of a proportional relationship, also known as a direct variation. So you may see it on paper or on your test called the constant of variation, the constant of proportionality, the slope, or the rate of change. All of these mean the same thing. The only difference is constant of variation and constant of proportionality are just specific to direct variations because they have special features. But all of these can be used to describe what we're going to find. So to find the constant of proportionality from a graph, we want to draw a triangle between two coordinate points. The vertical distance, which is up and down, is the numerator. We'll put in the numerator, and the horizontal distance is the denominator. If it is a proportional relationship, always use the origin, right? Because we're dealing with a graph here, so there's no hidden thing here. If your teacher is giving you the graph, it should definitely include the origin, where 0, 0 is one of the coordinate points in the, what are we drawing? We are drawing a triangle. And specifically, we're drawing a right triangle, okay? So down below, we have two graphs here. This is just the first graph. We have number of Slurpees and the cost of the Slurpee. Then I went and I drew actually two triangles. I didn't need to draw two, but I did. One starting from 0, 0, and I wound up going up 3 and over 4. That's why I circled these. So in my numerator, I would have a 3, and in my denominator, I'd have a 4. But I also just took 2 points on the graph, and you can see 3 and 4. Now, when you're choosing points to use, we choose 0, 0 because that's where an X and a Y line intersect. And I chose 3, 4 because this is where on the graph it comes in contact where one of those intersection points. So we want to get to one of those places like here's an intersection point because this line and this line are directly meeting. So when our line goes through something like that, we want to pick that type of point to use to draw our triangle. So we can tell from the two pictures, we can see that the constant of proportionality is 3 over 4. Okay, but it's not really, we're talking about Slurpees and money here. So you wouldn't go around and be like, oh yeah, Slurpees, 3/4 Slurpee. No, you're not going to buy 3/4 of a Slurpee. So how would we interpret this? Well, look at the top represents up and down. The bottom represents side to side. That's what we did up here when we talked about where things went in the numerator and denominator. So if I use the identifications, right, or the characteristics of the sides, remember, this is number of Slurpees and this is money. So up and down came first. So $3, I can interpret this as $3 versus 4 Slurpees. Or if 4 Slurpees are purchased, the cost would be $3. Now, I know you guys have also covered unit rate. Unit rate is when you find out what you want the top number, can be any number, but the bottom number has to be 1. So how much something is versus 1. So in this case, we'd be finding out what is the cost of 1 Slurpee. So if I divided 4 Slurpees or 3 Slurpees by $4 or by 4, I would get 75 cents. So in other words, each Slurpee costs 75 cents. So 4 Slurpees, 75 cents plus 75 cents is $1.50. Double that and we would have $3. Yep, 75 cents. So 75 is the unit rate. But 3 over 4 is a completely acceptable rate of change or slope. So hopefully that's shown you how you can do that from the graph. Remember, you're going to draw your triangles. They got to be right triangles. right? So when I'm drawing these, I use one of the up and down lines, and then when I'm going this way, I use one of the side to side lines. I got to be on those. Imagine you're on a highway and you're driving. So your triangle lines need to stay on your highway.